When you bite into a strawberry, everything about it screams berry. It's small, red, juicy, sweet, and packed with tiny seeds on the outside. It looks like a berry, tastes like a berry, and even has the word berry in its name. But here's the twist. Scientifically speaking, a strawberry isn't actually a berry. That sounds like one of those internet myths, right? But it's true. According to botanical definitions, the strawberry we know and love doesn't qualify as a real berry at all. And once you understand why, it completely changes how you see fruit in general. Today we're diving into why a strawberry is really not a berry and also uncovering how it grows. Why those seeds aren't really seeds and which fruits are secretly berries instead. The answer is more surprising than you think. Let's get into it right here on History of Simple Things. The common garden strawberry is known scientifically as Fragaria x ananassa. It belongs to the rose family, which might already surprise you. Yes, strawberries are actually related to roses. When you look at a strawberry plant, it grows low to the ground. It spreads through runners, long stems that creep across the soil and sprout new plants. The fruit forms after a white flower is pollinated, and what follows is a fascinating transformation. But here's the key. The red fleshy part we eat isn't technically the fruit. In botanical terms, a fruit develops from the ovary of a flower after fertilization. In most fruits, like grapes or tomatoes, the fleshy part comes directly from that ovary. In strawberries, something different happens. Take a close look at a strawberry. You'll see tiny yellow specks scattered across its surface. Most people assume those are seeds. They're not. Each of those little specks is actually its own individual fruit. They're called Achenes. An achene is a small dry fruit that contains a single seed inside. So technically, every seed on the outside of a strawberry is an individual fruit with its own seed inside it. That means a single strawberry isn't one fruit. It's a collection of many tiny fruits attached to a fleshy base. Mind-blowing, right? The red part we eat is called the receptacle. It's the enlarged part of the flower stem that holds all the ovaries. After pollination, instead of the ovaries swelling into one unified fruit, they develop into separate achenes while the receptacle swells and becomes juicy and sweet. So when you eat a strawberry, you're eating hundreds of tiny fruits stuck to a swollen flower base. Now let's talk about what actually qualifies as a berry. In everyday language, we call small, juicy fruits berries. But botanically, the definition is very specific. A true berry develops from a single flower with one ovary. The entire ovary wall becomes fleshy as it ripens, and the seeds are embedded inside. By that definition, fruits like tomatoes, grapes, and even bananas are berries. Yes, bananas are berries. Meanwhile, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are not. It feels backward, but that's because botanical classifications are based on how a fruit develops from the flower, not on how it looks or tastes. Strawberries are classified as aggregate fruits. An aggregate fruit forms from a single flower that has multiple ovaries. Each ovary develops into its own small fruit, and they cluster together on a single receptacle. Raspberries and blackberries fall into this category too, but there's a subtle difference. In raspberries and blackberries, the individual units called drupelets are fleshy themselves. In strawberries, the Achenes are dry, and the fleshy part is the receptacle. That makes strawberries a very unique kind of aggregate fruit. So, to answer the big question, no, strawberries are not berries in the botanical sense. They're aggregate fruits made up of many tiny individual fruits. If strawberries aren't true berries, why do we call them that? The answer lies in language, not science. The word berry has been used in English for centuries to describe small round fruits. It didn't originally follow strict botanical rules. Instead, it was based on appearance and size. Over time, botanical science developed more precise definitions, but the name stuck. That's why we still call strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries berries, even though scientifically they don't qualify. Meanwhile, No one casually calls a tomato or banana a berry, even though they technically are. Language and science don't always line up, and strawberries are a perfect example. There's another fascinating detail about strawberries. Their structure actually helps them spread. The bright red color and sweet flavor attract animals. When animals eat strawberries, they also consume the Achenes. The seeds inside can pass through the digestive system and be dispersed elsewhere. But strawberries don't rely only on animals. They also spread through runners, those horizontal stems that grow along the ground and create genetically identical plants. Even though strawberries aren't true berries botanically, they're still nutritional powerhouses. They're rich in vitamin C, more than oranges gram for gram. They also contain fiber, antioxidants, and plant compounds like anthocyanins, which give them their red color. Those antioxidants help fight oxidative stress in the body. And because strawberries are mostly water, they're relatively low in calories. So whether or not they qualify as true berries, they're undeniably good for you. So the next time someone tells you strawberries aren't berries, you'll know exactly why. And if you really want to impress someone, tell them bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't. That usually starts a fun argument. And that's what makes exploring everyday objects so fascinating. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.